Hello everyone, my name is Drugi Forever, and today we're playing Inua, A Story in Ice and Time. This is only the demo. Full game is not out yet. But it looked good, so let's see if it lives up to expectations. It looked really good, actually. Nature has all the time to tell stories endlessly as long as anyone is willing to listen. This life was explained to me through a story of Nanorluk, the giant bear. No paws nor teeth measured to its own, its patience and weight were even greater than anyone's. David, it's me. I didn't wake you, did I? No, I'm up, just fixing myself a coffee, swear you know. I just reached the Parks Canada research ship. Freezing my ass off, waiting for Dr. Gervais to come show me around the boat. It's minus 15 here, more like minus 20 with the wind chill, and I didn't send you there to report the weather. Did you get a chance to read over the documents I sent? Yes, sir, got it all in my backpack in case I need a quick refresher. As of 4 a.m. this morning, I'm a fully fledged expert on the Franklin expedition, ready to turn it all into a great story, so long as I don't pass out in the middle of the interview. Damn it, I thought I told you to get a good night's rest. That was the plan until my connecting flight was delayed for 8 hours, but at least it gave me plenty of time to get my mind off that weird dream. Can you please just focus for a couple of days? I don't want to regret giving you this opportunity. Uh-oh, sounds like someone needs to finish his coffee. Well, can't stand around all day chit-chatting, David. Some of us have work to do. Grizzly old bastard. He's right, though. This is a great opportunity. Might as well get to work. Hello, I have an appointment with Mr. Gervais, Alan. Great start. He can't hear me over all the fuss. Explore the surroundings to find tokens. Wait, weren't we expecting a visit from that journalist today? Talia, something like that? Can't say I'm too keen on the idea, but the communication department seems to think it's good PR for Parks Canada. Speak of the devil. Ah, so you're the journalist. How long you planning on loitering outside? Well, you want to freeze to death or come aboard? Funny guy. I should try to make a good impression. You must be Alan Gervais. I don't even know how to pronounce this. That's why I've been avoiding it. I'm this name. I can't wait to catch up, but my hands are full right now. Why don't you take a look around, try not to touch anything, and we'll get acquainted later, yeah? I just wanted to ask a few... Fantastic. I think that was a good impression. Probably not. Journalist has her head up her ass. She's barely spoken to me. It's like I'm invisible. Her loss. Who does she think she suggested looking here in the first place? If I hadn't spotted that mast in the ice last winter, they'd still be combing the seafloor 100 kilometers north of here, back where they found the Erebus. But yeah, sure, talk to the Kolonaut scientist. What could you possibly learn from some Inuit kid? Oh, okay, it's the same thing. Alright, let's get out of that. Hey! That's probably the same thing. Let's see here. Maybe I should take one last look at my notes. Might help to get my facts straight for my story. Appointment with Alan Gervais. Yep. Franklin expedition left England 1845. 2 ships. Experienced sailors. Last time anyone saw them. 40 corpses discovered. 90 missing. First tombs found on Beachy Island. Ships found in Cambridge Bay. What really happened to the crew? What really happened to the Franklin expedition? That's what I'm here to find out. What is this? Learn about the expedition. Alright. Good publicity for Parks Canada, they said. That's if she manages to write anything at all. We'll be lucky if she doesn't throw up from seasickness. Then again, if she does, at least we'll have a good laugh. Okay, so now what? Ah. Oh man, the journalist is coming over. If I play my cards right, maybe I can get a mention in this piece of hers. Hi, I'm from the Discoverer. Mind if I ask a few questions? I understand you made some interesting discoveries. Interesting would be an understatement. This stuff is groundbreaking. Where do I even begin? I think what our readers really want to know is whether we're any closer to finding out what happened to the Terror and her crew. We've still got a lot of work to do to figure that out. Work, Jeffrey. You remember the concept? Sorry, no time to chat, but have a look at what we already pulled out today. It might be interesting. Here comes that journalist. Okay, Maggie, try not to say anything stupid. Now, that's a nice ship. What's a nice ship like the HMS Terror doing in a place like this? You know, we're not completely surprised by where it ended up. We know the Terror had been stuck in the ice with the Erebus about 100 kilometers north of here. I read about that. That's where things really started to go wrong for the Franklin expedition, right? Right, and since the Erebus was found further south in 2014, we figured the Terror would be somewhere between those 2 points. Still, it was a stroke of luck that anyone found it at all and in such good condition. Must be so exciting. Imagine all the things we could learn from this. We won't have to imagine for much longer. Hey, you gonna use any of that in your piece? Everyone wants a piece. What is this? Oh, that's pause. Okay. So now what do? I've talked to everybody. Right? So... No, not you. Discoveries. Here we go. I remember an old story the elders used to tell about 2 hunters who found the wreckage of the Erebus before it sank and went in to explore. Down in the belly of the boat they came across a grinning giant, standing there, completely still in the dark. Later we figured out it was probably the frozen corpse of one of the crew, and the grin would have been due to scurvy. Hopefully the fish ate the bodies a long time ago. I don't need to see any of that. The more I think about it, the more I'm amazed by what we found. The wreck of Terror is in near perfect condition. I bet the thing would float if we'd bring it to the surface. If we keep on at this rate, we'll soon understand what really happened to the Franklin expedition. The discovery of Terror is a landmark moment in the history of Canada. The Franklin expedition is the stuff of legend here. We learn about the search for the Northwest Passage in school. A few years ago, then Prime Minister Stephen Harper launched an expedition to locate the wrecks. But he didn't just want to unravel the mystery of what happened to the crew. He also wanted to assert Canadian sovereignty in the area. I want to find the truth behind the myth. The divers have given the signal. Their search basket must be full. Maggie hasn't noticed yet. This could be my chance to look good in front of Alan. Maggie, what are you waiting for? Activate the winch. Huh? Oh, okay, I'll do it right away, but what? No excuses. Come on, wake up. We've all got a job to do. It's just that last time I checked, you were on winch duty. Damn it. Nice. Look, do you want to stand there all day arguing, or do you want to activate the goddamn winch? Well, this isn't a friendly work environment. I got a glimpse of the officers' quarters when we were in the submarine. Maps, cabinets, scientific instruments, not to mention the captain's office, all perfectly preserved, but the one thing I really want to get my hands on is the ship's logbook. We could learn so much about those final days aboard the Terror. The divers have looked, but they can't find it anywhere. Maybe someone beat us to it. I could have sworn it was her turn. Made a damn fool out of myself. That's not how I'm going to get my postdoctorate. Judging by the racket, it sounds like they hauled stuff up from the wreckage. I hope they find something while I'm on board. That'd really help my story. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. There's nothing to do with this, I guess. Tin cans, okay. There is something to do with it. I don't quite see the point of collecting all those old cans, but I guess that's why I drive the Zodiac. Anything we find on board the Terror may offer clues to what happened on her last voyage. Time to find out what was on the menu aboard the Terror. These tin cans are really well preserved. We found them on a shelf in the pantry. I wouldn't crack one open, though. Let me guess, they've expired? Worse, they may have been tainted with lead from a faulty sealing process. Ah, yeah, I think I read about that. You think that might be what killed the crew? Not necessarily. From our preliminary tests, the levels of lead in the crew's bones are consistent with those of other sailors at the time. Back then, your average Brit was exposed to higher levels of lead than we are today. The joys of living through the Industrial Revolution, I guess. We'll have a toxicological analysis completed in the coming months. Then we'll know for sure. I'm a little hungry, but not that hungry. They ate nothing but canned food, had no entertainment, lived lives of constant suffering. No doubt about it, the seafarers of the 19th century lived like grad students. Wait, did I click on everything in the boat? Okay, I think so. Yeah. Alright, so up here, let me just make sure I clicked on everything here. Alright, then we go this way. Alright, let's see what we got. We got remains. Okay. It's not easy to make the dead talk. Who knows what happened on board that ship? Even after all these expeditions, I still get creeped out when we find human remains. Halloween's come early this year. Ever since Cynthia entered this witchcraft phase, I feel like I'm surrounded by skulls. Teenagers. God, I sound just like my dad. Wow, skulls. I got here just in time. Are those the crew? It's been a long time since anyone found human remains from the Franklin expedition. This must be a landmark discovery, Dr. Gervais. Just 87 more and you'll have the full set. Indeed, it's quite the breakthrough, but as is often the case with these discoveries, these remains pose more questions than answers. Why would so many of these men have remained on the ship? They could have risked it and tried to reach the continent on foot. Instead, they just waited here to die. The expedition's not over yet. Maybe you'll find your answers. Maybe. Or maybe we'll never know. You can navigate freely between eras in order to unfold the story. Yeah, but Reuben reveals Graham's secret. Discovers Graham's skull. So we got everything here, right? Okay. I just want to make sure that we got everything we could possibly click on this ship. What's this? Okay. Lieutenant, a decision must be made, and made quickly if we're to have any chance of surviving. Mr. Woodruff, might I remind you that I am the last remaining officer on board. I, and I alone, will make the decisions about the crew of this ship. There are barely 30 of us left. The summer ahead looks to be as cold as the last. Sir, we must abandon the Terror. Abandon the Terror? Nonsense. You would be well advised to hold your tongue on such matters. Sir, I beg you, please listen to me before it's too late. If we leave now, I'm sure we can still... The only thing you can be sure of, Woodruff, is that your next word on this will be your last. That fool, he's risking our lives. He hasn't got what it takes to be in command. But the men still follow him all the same. Is it fear? Loyalty? Or is it just blind obedience? I have to find something to convince them to leave this ship with me. Should I tell them about my dream? No, they'd never believe me. I'm not sure I believe me. There has to be something else. Firepower. Escape. Oh, no. Hold on. Still looking for stuff. No, okay, fine. Why, Lieutenant Gore, this is incredible. You've managed to maintain the lifeboats even when you were trapped in the ice. Thank you, Admiral, but I was merely acting according to the principles instilled in me during my training at the Academy. I assume you've already met my daughter. I have yet to have the pleasure. Enchanté, mademoiselle. We're the boys that fear no noise, whilst the thundering cannons roar. Boom, boom. Campbell, Campbell, you worthless layabout! Aye, sir. What's the status of the cannon? In full working order, sir. I think. Ah, yes, capital. Keep up the good work, lad. We'll make a sailor of you yet. The lieutenant has us exercising the guns every morning, even after everything that's happened. He says it's good for discipline, but it feels more ridiculous with each passing day. If there was a way off this ship, we would have taken it already. Besides, what would we even do out there? How would we survive? How would we find our way? We wouldn't make it far without help, and who's going to help us? We could load up those lifeboats with as much as we could carry and drag them south. Food, provisions, items to trade with the Inuit we might meet along the way. It would be hard work, but I don't see an alternative. The Terror was a bomb ship, much like Erebus, repurposed for Arctic exploration. She survived the War of 1812, expeditions to the Arctic and the Antarctic, too. Can't say I've had such a distinguished career, and yet here we both are. If the lieutenant says we stay here, I suppose he knows best. It's hardly like I have a better plan. Though thou art my battle-axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. I always found it easier to memorize the parts about fighting. I wonder why that is. None of this other stuff wants me to interact with it. Alright. I refuse to die here. I long to see Scotland again. I must return home. Ellie, my love, Moira, my treasure, nothing will keep me from seeing you again. I'll do whatever it takes to get home to you. Lifeboats. Some good those will do us now. They'd be better used as firewood. I'd be surprised if those cannons would even fire after so long in these conditions, and yet Gore has us running them out every morning. For what? What's he expecting to fight out here? Polar bears? I wonder whether the lieutenant has listed the names of the dead in his logbook. He's certainly spent enough time in his cabin. Typical. Here we are freezing to death, and that bastard has his own private room. He's even got a window, now that not that there's much of a view right now. All this military might, the most advanced ship in Her Majesty's Navy, but what good are all those guns out there? I was close to Stanley and good, sir. A proud Scotsman was good, sir. Loved to tease me for being Welsh, but always in good humour. They taught me the basics of medicine, but with them gone, I'm the crew's physician by default. Me, of all men, if only Mother could see me now. Ha! There's little I can do to ward off cold, fatigue, and malnutrition, but I have to try. Months ago, a few of the men left the ship in an effort to reach a cairn where they could leave a message for the Navy. God knows how far they got. We never heard from them again. Interesting. Logbook. Found the logbook. Okay. Alright. Well. Wait, hold on. Can I do something about the ice? Like, you'd think, like, trapped in the ice would be one of the things, but I guess not. Alright. Logbook. Perhaps one day someone will be given the task of sorting through the litany of errors that brought us to this point. That's assuming the officers have been recording all of their decisions. Those officers with their endless meetings, their big dinners, and their comfy cabins, writing everything in their logbooks. And look where that got us. Good riddance, if you ask me. I have to say, Woodruff will know what to do. Mr. Woodruff, I need to speak with you about something I saw in Lieutenant Gore's cabin. I saw him writing in his logbook again this morning, but he seemed distressed. I was curious, so I took a look. My reading ain't so good, but it was nonsense, sir. The mindless ramblings of a madman, so far as I could tell. I'm worried he's beginning to crack under the pressure. I see. You've done the right thing coming to me, lad. If what Reuben says is true, then the men need to know. I would never have become the lieutenant's aide-de-camp if Smith hadn't died. Some promotion that was. He spends most of his days locked in his cabin, always muttering to himself and scrawling in that logbook of his. Maybe I should tell someone about what I saw this morning, or maybe that would be more trouble than it's worth. I hope to God this doesn't end in bloodshed. I've never even fired this pistol before. How am I going to fare in a firefight? Woodruff sounds like he has a plan. At the very least, it beats sitting here and waiting to die. Gore has to be stopped. He's out of his mind. I understand him wanting to prove himself. He's not much older than I am, but even I am old enough to know I don't want to freeze to death here. We're going to leave this ship and we're going to live to tell the tale. Mr. Woodruff will show us the way, I'm sure of it. That's Woodruff. If he won't listen to reason, perhaps he'll listen to force. God help the poor bugger. There's no choice left to make. This man will lead us all to hell. Oh, goddamn it. Give it up, Lieutenant. From now on, we'll put our faith in the Lord, not you. Woodruff's an odd fellow, but he has something about him. Maybe there's a way out of this after all. I had a peek at Gore's feverish scrawling in this strange script. I may not be able to read, but I know the devil's work when I see it. We'll have to bury those poor bastards as best we can, but who's going to bury us? If only I could read, I could find comfort in that Bible the pastor gave me before I left home. Alright, before I go to those two, I'm going to go with these. That logbook is nothing but the ravings of a madman. If only there was some way to help the poor soul. I've heard talk of doctors removing parts of the brain in cases like this, but I doubt I have the skills for such a procedure. I'd rather take my chances out there than watch another man wither away on this cursed ship. We'll know that we tried. We'll know that we tried, at least. Interesting. I pray to God I don't have to treat a gunshot wound. I'd hardly know where to start. If there's one thing that my past experiences have taught me, it's that survival is a matter of will. Gore has been crushed under the pressure. It's hard to blame him. But if we continue to follow his orders, we're sure to die here. Don't resist, Lieutenant. It's better this way. In these conditions, the soul is tested as much as the body. It's not a test many of us have passed. Gore's gone mad. I'll admit it. It wouldn't be the first time I'd seen it happen at sea. If there's even a chance we can make it home, we have to take it. I'd risk everything to see my family one more time. I hope I don't have to fire this pistol. I haven't so much as winged a bird since we've been out here. That madman, he'll condemn us all to an icy grave. Icy grave, I tell ya. My writings, yes, my writings will exonerate me in the eyes of the Admiralty. But these swine, they must not see my logbook. Why, they can barely read, and even if they couldn't possibly understand. Couldn't understand the burden. What it takes to lead, the youngest officer on board. It has to be a brilliant career. I'd rather they swung from a noose for this. But if I have to, I'll kill to defend this ship. They're turning on me? Me? What do you have to say for yourself, Lieutenant? Say for myself, I do not answer to you, Clark. I do not answer to any of you. Don't you see I'm trying to help you? But you would rather follow Woodruff into an icy grave. The ship is lost, Lieutenant. No one's coming for us, but it's not too late. Come south with us. There's still a chance, but we must act now. I am still the commanding officer, Woodruff, and you're still a dirty, illiterate sailor. I say again, nobody will leave this ship. There's no way off this boat, not unless they go through me. Erebus, deep darkness, a mausoleum. She was a mausoleum by the end. Cold, disease, and starvation, not for me. No, 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 that hull, so thick yet shattered. Shattered by the ice, no choice but to leave. Had to sail away, had to sail away aboard the Terror. But who will pay? Who will pay the price for abandoning Erebus? Questions will be asked. The Admiralty will want answers. Me? No, surely no. It was to be such a brilliant career, but if I can save the Terror and all who sail in her. Parades! Parades in the name of Lieutenant Graham Gore. They're starting to believe me. They're starting to wonder if there might be a way out of this mess. Maybe there was some truth in that dream I had. With the last remaining the officers dead. Interesting. We outnumber Gore, but only if I can get them all on my side. It's worse than I thought. Page after page of this drivel. On and on. Letters never sent. Poems. Drawings. I can't let him hold us back any longer. Listen up, lads. You too, Gore. The lieutenant here is under the impression that we're about to be rescued. I'm sad to say I don't share his optimism. Enough of your insubordination, Woodruff. I'll have you lashed if you say another word. Lashed? Who'll do the lashing, Lieutenant? The Admiralty? Maybe one of your famous friends can help you. It's all here in this logbook, lads. The poor bugger's gone mad. He's going to get us all killed. These men are still loyal to me, Woodruff. Still loyal to the Crown. They're literally pointing guns at you. Perhaps we should let the men answer for themselves, sir. Dozens of us have died already, and we'll join them if we continue to do nothing, but these men are prisoners of the old world. They haven't the stomach to question authority. How many more must we lose before they listen to reason? No, if anyone else has to die, it should be the bastard that keeps us prisoners here. I'd rather convince him, but I'll do whatever it takes to get off this boat. They're all with me now. I have no choice but to end this. All right, Gore, it's over. The men are with me, and we're getting off this godforsaken ship. Scoundrels! Fools! He'll lead you to your graves. Crucifixes by the shore. A pile of rocks atop your bones. It's not too late, Lieutenant. You can still come with us. You stolen officer's property, and then trick these men with your lies about my writings. How could you understand? How could you possibly understand? You're not thinking clearly, Lieutenant. And why should these men trust a lowly wretch like you? Why, when you left England, you could barely write your own name? Listen, you daft bastard, you're not in charge anymore. You can come with us, or you can freeze to death here. You're leading these men to their deaths, Woodruff, and I'll spill your blood before any of you leave this ship. Keep your hands clean, Lieutenant. Wow, creepy skull. I got here just in time, but I could have sworn... Nah, I'm imagining things. It's been a long time since anyone recovered human remains from the Franklin expedition, so this is a pretty big find, right? Yeah, I guess. Ignore him. He's just trying to seem cool in front of the big shot reporter. No, seriously, what more can we learn from a skull? I'm more interested in tools, personal effects. But it looks like this one died of something other than lead poisoning and frostbite. See, that skull is fractured. Mind if I take a closer look? Who knows, maybe this guy still has a story to tell. This hole's way too round to have been caused by anything else than a bullet. The poor lad was executed, there's little doubt about that. In this tooth, is that a filling? Those weren't exactly cheap back then. That rules out this being a simple sailor. Listen, science people, what kind of sailor had a filling back in 1845? Who told you could touch that? My guess would be an officer with a bullet in the forehead. Seems like close range. I'm not an expert in the matter, but the whole thing sounds like mutiny to me. Mutiny! On the Bounty. The conditions these men face, fatigue, starvation, cold, it's no wonder they revolted. When they got on the boat, they were full of hope, but when that hope faded, what was left? Mutiny, eh? Not a bad idea. Beats blowing smoke up Alan's ass all day long. If we could find something to explain what happened on the Terror, what caused their loss, that would really put my name out there in the scientific community. And the rest of the crew, of course. If I'm right about the mutiny, this could be a hell of a story to tell. One even that schmuck David would be happy about. But I need the thing to be solid. I wonder if I can get Dr. Gervais to confirm it. So Alan, what do you say? About the whole mutiny thing? I think you've been watching too much TV. Damn it. No, there are plenty of explanations for what might have happened here. Goddamn son of a... Years of hard work and she's about to steal my discovery. And if the press come out with this before the Prime Minister, that'll ruin everything. Better get her off the ship before she ruins my career. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have plenty of work to get on with. We can't let you fondle any more skulls for the moment. Wait, but I thought... We'll have What's-His-Face take you back to shore on the Zodiac. I'm sure you're eager to get a cup of hot coffee, but let's catch up tomorrow at base camp, yeah? Fantastic, off you go. So much for a good first impression. This guy's shutting me out already. What's David going to say if I can't even get on the research ship? Oh, and there's the... Okay, that's the end of it. Alright, well there you go. That is Inua. A Story in Ice and Time. Yeah, pretty good so far. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, tell that like button you want to smash, and don't forget to subscribe. You stay you, I'll stay me, Droogie forever. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Later.